Welcome back, everybody. We will have an interesting presentation coming up. The speaker is Mr. Eric Chaffard, a Global Segment Director Wind from Schneider Electric. He will speak about digital solutions for renewable project. Data is the new gold. The floor is yours.
Thank you, and thanks for the invitation. Very honored to have this opportunity to introduce what I call data is the new gold, and especially detailing a bit what digital twin finally can bring to the renewable industry, especially to unlock value, improve efficiency across the entire asset life cycle. So digital is revolutioning the way we work and that we work and we live together. The episode 1 was about connecting people to people, people with people. The next episode, is revolutionizing the way we live and we interact with our environment. It is all about machine to machine, people to machine, everything catalyzed by IoT, which is producing a very huge number of data, what we call the big data, stored in large data centers. With AI, artificial intelligence, we have the capacity to train machines with algorithms to make sense, in fact, of all these data which are available. So digital is massively disrupting the cost point, the time to market, the efficiency and sustainability aspects. So let's see now a little bit what is the impact for the renewable industry and especially for wind. So we have all probably these figures in mind. By 2050, half of the world electricity will come from renewable and especially from wind and solar. We see on this slide, the inflection point is really these days, in fact, 2019, 2020, where the acceleration will be massive up to 2050. So the power generation will be more sustainable, more renewable everywhere with decentralization. So what is the impact finally about the LCOE, the levelized cost of energy? The improvement of this LCOE in the past has been mainly driven and is still mainly driven by the size of the turbine. You see in the slide that now we are reaching the size of the Eiffel Tower for the big and for the large offshore turbines. The size of the turbine has been increased or multiplied by 6, in fact, since 2 decades, so massive. On the other side, the industry has also improved what we call the wind capacity factor, which is at the end of the day the average power generated on a particular plant divided by the rated peak power. So we see, sorry, it's not so visible in my slides, but from 2012 to 2050, what we are expecting as improvement of the capacity factor. Now, the challenges of the renewable industry is finally how we can further optimize the LCOE while not jeopardizing the carbon footprint. So we see, in fact, 3 big challenges. The first one is to reduce capital costs and reduce time to market, both for the wind turbine manufacturers, be able to produce new turbine, bigger turbine, quicker, as well as for the developers and EPCs to execute their project in a more efficient way and quicker. And this facing at the same time growing constraints from the grid operators. So this is what we see as the first challenge. The second one is about operation and maintenance efficiency, reducing unplanned downtime, reducing the impact of cable failure, of network failure, especially true in offshore, as we can imagine, and also definitely improve also the way we react or we anticipate maintenance actions. The third challenge is how finally to optimize the production. even if we saw that the capacity factor grew quite much in the past decade, still we need to improve in the performance of the electrical balance of plant, the way the turbines are connected together and are delivering the power to the grid, and at the same time generate new revenue streams on different markets. So this we see that the way we can basically improve the LCOE across all the life cycle of the project will have as a strong enabler what we call the digital continuity. And this is something that we need to build up at very early stage of project development. Clearly, if we want to be more efficient, it means that we need to reduce time to market, as I mentioned earlier. And this is the enabler, the stronger enabler is to optimize project management, engineering and design in order to allow installation, quicker commissioning, ensuring full compliance to grid codes and standards. So this is for the design and build. For the operation and maintenance, I mentioned earlier the challenges, improve the production forecast accuracy, provide new services to the grid, ancillary services, capacity market, and so on. Reduce unplanned downtime and improve the maintenance I mentioned earlier. And this is the stronger enabler on this is to improve the reliability of the electrical system and assets, while let's say preserving safety of the assets and safety of the people. And also, so this is for the reliability, and also definitely run more efficient operations and optimize maintenance. So let's see how finally the digital, what we call the digital continuity, will be an enabler to improve finally the global picture. So let's start with project and construction management. Today, what are at the end the challenges of our customers in their business and their IT infrastructure? This is the issue is to solve an equation which is very difficult, is to increase revenue, keeping high level of profit and reducing costs. And this facing a lot of, I would say, contrary winds, if I can say so, backwinds, lack of collaboration usually between the people, which can be some challenges with resources which might be wasted. This is most often due to unstructured data and data losses, which have as an impact lack of control of the cost of the project, lack of control of the project risk, and at the end of the day, put a pressure on the profit margin, and again, waste resources. So let's see finally what is the typical flow of data in the construction process. So this slide is a little bit messy, but it's on purpose, I would say. You see at the center is mainly we see all the let's say the key topic, the key part of the project management, starting from design, estimation, scheduling, going to tendering, managing subcontractor and supply chain, project management, workflow, up to controlling. So this is the key phases of project management, and usually, very often, we are facing, in fact, people who are working with their own tools, usually Excel sheets, okay, which are not connected to each other, which require a lot of manual work, a lot of reworking, in fact, to pass or to go from one phase to another, meaning information are missing, data error are very often the case, and at the end of the day, this is generating inefficient collaboration. This is why it's important. Our vision is you need in terms of data management. We think it has to start with project management. Basically, we see that. Sorry, we'll unmask this. That when you have raw data, 90%, 96% of these data are unused. Okay, especially in engineering and construction industry. It is really pertinent to to manage the most pertinent data. At the end of the day, 90% of all these data are unstructured. completely unstructured, meaning that we need to define rule, to define how we analyze this data, how we manage them, and how we process them to allow the next step of the project execution. So when we have finally valuable data, it helps to reduce the 13% of working hours which are today spent by looking for data and information on our servers, on our laptops, and so on. So this unified platform is quite interesting, and this allows to switch at the end of the day from traditional design, where we have our 2D drawings, we have some let's say 3D modeling also, which we can find quite often in the offshore industry on platform, where 3D design is a must. We are adding, or we believe we need to add other dimensions, a part of 2D and 3D, which are basically the 4D, which is the time dimension. The fifth one is the cost, and we have recently added the sixth dimension in project management and project design. It is monitoring of the carbon footprint. So this platform will allow finally to monitor, to control the project with a unified model of data, starting from really planning, building up to the operation, and embedding the 4 dimension or the 6 dimension I have just mentioned in a consistent manner, in a way that a project manager can properly manage their data, can properly take the right decision at the right moment with trusted data and unique data. And the carbon simulation is a quite interesting feature, as we can really monitor at the end of the day the production or the consequences of carbon emission in the way we are managing the project. So the idea is really to be able to make simulation between our impact on planning, manage the costs, and have immediately the consequences in terms of carbon footprint. We can develop scenarios, we can benchmark plant between each others, okay, and this in order to let's say to optimize finally the full value generated by the project, especially having always in mind the carbon footprint, which shall not be jeopardized in profit of the execution. So this is today what we see as one enterprise platform, which should be and is, I would say, fully vendor agnostic. At the end of the day, a project is a project, but particularly adapted for renewable. This single platform will allow to monitor and manage properly the key aspects of a project, which are costs, schedule, obviously, resources, business partners, subcontractors, co-contractors, suppliers, monitoring the quality also as well, and with a strong safety aspects also. So now that we saw the importance of managing the data to manage project and to manage construction, okay, trying to solve the challenge again of fully unstructured data and loss of efficiency. Let's see now if we are speaking particularly about electrical design and simulation, what is finally the challenges and what will provide a unique and consistent data management. In this, what is key about electrical systems or electrical design systems is really to have let's say a full system to manage again properly the data. Having a powerful power system design tool is key to ensure the success of powering or bringing power from a renewable plant to the grid, fully in line with the grid requirements, which, as earlier mentioned, are being stronger and stronger. Okay, while ensuring full resiliency and reliability of the power system, ensure in all cases with a dynamic control full stability of the system, very important, especially when it comes to a hybrid generation, where we start to mix different renewable sources together with storage. This is really key to ensure stability in all cases, and also at the end of the day, allow to manage and to guarantee the expected energy yield expected by the stakeholders, by the shareholders of the project. So having a digital solutions to manage intelligently the electrical network is something which is highly important, especially to digitize the electrical network at the very early stage of the project. So digitizing the electrical network, digitizing the SLD, so to have an intelligent single line diagram, together with collaborative tools, as we know that we are in a world where you have a lot of stakeholders in a renewable project. We have the developer, we have the consultants, we have the grid operators. So all this, let's say, persona, EPCs and users shall be able, under conditions, to access, the digital model of the electrical network under conditions. And what is also very important, I would say, is also to be able to develop the model at early stage, and then to be able to drive this through the operations using the same data models. And here we are speaking about advanced analytics and simulation solutions. So a key part is really to have digital model. I was mentioning the different players of the value chain. You see here, when we start from early design stage up to maintenance aspects, we have different players involved: consultants, EPCs, operators, and very often we have, silos. We don't have a digital continuity of the model of data, which start at early basic design stage, when at the end of the day the project developer is requiring or applying a consultant to do the electrical studies in order to get the grid connection as part of the development package. We believe that having a powerful power system tool, being able to start to design the data model already at very early stage of the project development, as soon as we have the grid connection, then this data model can survive and can be updated all along, the value chain by the EPC at the end of the project as design model, as built model, as maintained model, with, I would say, a virtual cycle, which allows to update the data model at each phase of the project. So I would say intelligent electrical design tool is for us a very important aspect, and is part of the digital revolution, I would say, today. So we are speaking about project management and execution with data at the heart of the system. We were speaking about electrical design and how important it is to have data modeling at a very early stage of the project, going through the whole life cycle. Let's see now, in terms of finally digital, what we call really the digital twin, how finally it is key. Data is at the heart, and data is what we call the new gold. If we refer to asset information management, the way we manage the asset in the industrial world has nothing to do today with what is happening in the consumer world. So we all have our apps on our telephone. When we are looking for a restaurant, we can easily find our way through different applications. We have information in context, so we know the condition of traffic. We know where are the nearest or the closest restaurant or the closest gas station. So we are really in a full digital world with all information available in context. On the contrary, in the industrial world, and you see this poor guy here, it's more of a nightmare. Even if things are improving, but it's more like a nightmare, because usually, people are looking for documentation, are looking for single line diagrams, which are usually updated by hand. So we have really a very big difference between what again is happening in the consumer world and what is the real life in industry. So the digital twin is in fact nothing than providing the digital view, the digital modeling of a physical asset. Okay, in this example, it's more oil and gas plant, but at the end of the day, it can be also offshore platform or whatever. We are, let's say, using the physical asset and developing the digital twin, the digital image of this physical asset, including in this model all the unstructured data that are available today, which are cable list, instrument index, data sheets. This is for what we call the 1D data. We have the 2D data. Here it's more about PNIDs in the process industry, shop drawings, up to data already available in 3D, like laser scans or available 3D model. So what is important to form at the end of the day, this digital twin, is to manage in a consistent manner the quality of the data, monitor the quality of the data at each phase of the project, and especially have all the information connected to each other. In fact, it's really to move from full disconnected information, okay, again, leading to inconsistencies, manual work, as said before, to fully connected digital asset information, where at the end of the day, the asset is at the center of everything, fully connected in a contextualized manner between each other. And when the model is developed, when you have all the relationships between your tags, between all your assets, then it's much easier at the end of the day to access to the information, especially in a contextualized manner, to be able to navigate, check, validate directly on the 3D model. So the digital twin is spanning really across the full asset life cycle. We were speaking about the electrical engineering tool, already bringing intelligence, in the way we are designing an electrical system. This electrical system is then fed in the engineering part of the digital twin, which is the early formation or the early creation of the digital twin. We are integrating information supported by industry tools, process design, optimization. So the system should be fully open, complying with all industry standards. So we are gathering all this information. We are allowing easier visualization, multi-facet views, 3Ds, to bridge again silos between the different organizations. And then in terms of operation, then the digital twin that we have created earlier is now brought to life, and we can easily add plant, add behavior, and adjust with the real-time data. And maintenance is definitely enriched also as soon as we are adding assets. All this is powered, obviously, by latest technology. We speak about cloud, IoT, big data, virtual reality, and artificial intelligence. So we saw entire asset life cycle, very important. We start with engineering and construction. We build the model, clearly facilitating handover. We saw the different players of the value chain with very often silos between the handover. So developing the digital twin will allow a much easier handover between engineering, construction, and especially operation and maintenance. Okay, and then bringing this up to operations, managing real-time data, and organize maintenance, organize connected worker and mobility as soon as on-site intervention is needed based on the proper diagnostic. So the end of the day, digital twin is fully enabling the digital continuity with what we call a trusted source of truth. Okay, this is the key, which from the engineering data hub will then directly feeding operation and maintenance system from energy and engineering and construction, and this with a minimal effort. It means that at the end, it's quite easy to use. It's much more efficient to use these data to bring them in an operation center, in predictive analytics tools, organized condition management, condition-based maintenance, have a link to enterprise asset management, ERP, and also to edge layer and SCADA systems. So the final output is finally enabling full collaboration between teams, driving operational excellence, especially to show the right information in the right context. Again, this is here oil and gas plant, but these kind of tools are massively used by oil and gas industry, by the oil and gas players coming and strongly in the renewable field. So this 3D design tool will allow really in terms of operation to have information available in context, to be able to really to extend the virtual plant we have developed to operations, to use it as a real operation tool, and to revolutionize the way people are interacting with software. So on top of this, and this will be probably my final slide, this is on top of this, we have what we call the unified operating center. You have all these data available. You need people who have, or large developers who have fleet of farms from different, let's say, topics or different technology like solar, like wind, offshore, onshore, needs to have one operating center, vendor agnostic, able to communicate with multiple sites under multiple protocols from multiple vendor, and bringing again the single version of truth, unifying finally all the things we saw before, data coming from the engineering and maintenance, bringing this up to decision makers, again, to be able to take right decision at the right moment. Open platforms such as OSIsoft, PI system are a key feature in this respect. So, in a nutshell, key takeaways at the end of the day of what I said or I tried to explain is how finally digital is disrupting efficiency and sustainability. We see this. I mean, this is probably obvious for all of us, but this is a fact. Digital twin is we believe is a key enabler to drive further optimization, further LCOE optimization without jeopardizing the carbon footprint, which for us is another dimension. You remember the 6D. Modeling data from the early stage of electrical design and project construction is very important, providing unique data platform which can then be driven throughout the whole project life cycle. And finally, open platforms, hardware vendor agnostic is of high importance, and based on what we call the single version of truth of the data, which we think is a must in the industry. Voilà, that is the end of my presentation. Thanks again for having listened to me, and available to any question if needed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eric. Very good presentation. We will next return with the hydrogen panel. We will take a short break and we will be right back. Thank you again, Eric.
Thank you.